So if you are sitting at a desk, have your feet down in a parallel position. And if you're sitting in a regular cross-legged position, you can have your sits bones raised 2 to 4 inches, or whatever works for you. And maybe a couple of cushions underneath each knee. And welcome back, Lorraine. And then the hands in the meditation mudra, right hand nestled in the left, with the thumbs touching. And welcome, Mary and Stephanie. Just imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light, stretching from the base all the way up through the crown. And just imagine somebody's like a puppeteer, just lengthening you, coaxing those muscles along the spine, just to release and relax. The shoulders are aligned with the hips, as the head is reaching for the ceiling, the crown. And your head is slightly tipped forward, and the eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose. If they were open, they would be a couple of inches ahead of you. Tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. Relax the jaw. Let's bring our awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes, the back of the eye socket, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth. And then bring your awareness to the back of the head and just release any tension at the base of the skull, the occipital bone area. And then relax the ears and the inner ear, and the temples and the jaw, and the back of the tongue. And release any tension in the back of the neck and the shoulders. Just allow your shoulders to just drop down. And relax the throat and the chest and the belly, limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes. And bring your mind to the breath, just noticing the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. And if there are some sounds in your environment, if there's people in your home, pets, animals outside, emergency service vehicles outside, cars, traffic, just allow those sounds to be there, like just maybe try and turn them into white noise. And notice what distracts your mind, what's drawing you away. And then very gently just release and refocus your attention on the breath. And let the sounds fade. Now just notice your mind, this river of mental moments, and try and put some space in between your thoughts. Just notice the thoughts as they arise, and how incredibly fast the thoughts are coming in sentences, as stories, as pictures, as feelings. It's so fast. And then just let them flow, this river of mental moments of ours. And let's just take a seat again on the bank of the river and watch that river of mental moments flowing on by, just as an interested observer. See them, let them go, let them go. And just notice that while you're on the bank of the river, you're free from the river. So let's just bring to mind all those people of our life, all our loved ones, our friends, the people that we care about, that we worry about, our spouses, our children, work colleagues, all these people that we have so much care for, we have time for. And then there's those people in our lives who, we have a lot of, maybe some difficulty with, a lot of difficulty with, or maybe they just simply irritate us. But they're not our close friends. And then there's those people who are just complete strangers. And we pass them. They move through our lives. Hundreds, if not thousands of them, every single day. And we don't take any notice of them. We don't remember them. And we don't care about them much. So it's good to remind ourselves over and over again that the friend and the enemy and the stranger can change places at any time in our lives. I always find that really sobering. So just think, they all deserve our equal concern, not just the ones we love. Why? Because they all have this incredible wish and they're always searching for happiness and satisfaction and never quite finding it. And then they're all wishing to be free from suffering. Everybody, all of us, every day we're looking for comfort, looking for ways to avoid suffering. And we're always somehow running into problems. And then everybody has this unbelievable capacity for this enlightened mind. It's hard to imagine those people that we don't like very much having this kind of qualities. But they do. They have this potential as well. So I think we'll do this meditation this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life. So any of you here who are not well yourselves, I know Lorraine's been struggling with some health issues. Mary's still dealing with a dog bite. And so if anyone else there is having any particular problem, just dedicate for yourself. Anyway, dedicate for ourselves. Motivate for ourselves as we move along our spiritual path. And if there's anyone that you think would love to benefit from this practice, but probably would never be interested to show up, you can just bring them here, put them by your side, and do it with them. So just remind ourselves that there is no negativity that cannot be purified, and this purification process is just basically a psychological process. So we create negativity with our mind. That's how we create negativity, with our mind. So we can just as easily create positivity with our mind. So first we start this practice with the power of regret. So Lama Rinpoche says this goes a long way to purification, even just regretting. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason we regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience harm in the future. So we know from the present suffering that we don't probably want any more. So logically you can remove, it would make sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And we also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and this is our delusions. And again, think, I'm sick of this suffering. So then what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. And first we take refuge. We turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods we can use to purify. And we're not needing the Buddha to forgive us. We're not asking for forgiveness. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So we're healing ourselves. So you can just imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And you can also imagine this is your teacher, your guru, your lama, manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. And you can imagine he is made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. All this lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud, just like our enlightened potential, which is born out of our delusions, but yet untainted by them. Vajrasattva has a beautiful face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for us. So he's really, really happy to see you, really pleased to see you, just delighted that you're here. And however it is you're showing up this evening, whatever it is you're showing up with, it's okay. It's just accepting you exactly as you are. No worries, no judgment, no criticism. Just whatever is. The fact that you're here is fantastic. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents a union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So just this little section on compassion. In order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, so the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us. So think of someone that you may have harmed recently, and then also someone that has harmed you. And although a little bit more difficult, think for this person, may they be free from suffering and may they not suffer. So as you're developing, you need to develop compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you, the suffering they've caused you, is going to necessarily ripen for them as suffering in the future. So feel compassion towards them because of that. So think, I must purify for all of these beings' sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine. Doing the practice of purification, which includes mantra recitation and visualization. So we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose or from a waterfall. So I like to imagine Niagara Falls. It's quite powerful. And very forcefully from his heart. And it kind of arcs around and into your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And this nectar keeps pouring into you until it forces out of all your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sidam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa, sutokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe, Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, Vajrasattva dina patita, Dida meboa, sutokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. So be delighted that all the harm you have ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there is no way to do anything but benefit others now with your body. The next is a purification of the speech, and Vajrasattva again very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of the body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows quite forcefully and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and all your careless speech and useless speech and lying and talking about badly behind other people, about other people behind their backs and being divisive. And all of this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. So the next is a purification of the mind. So imagine this time Vajrasattva very compassionately sends light, quite powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and switch on a light. That light instantly dispels the darkness. So it's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart, all the darkness of the negativity of the mind is instantly dispelled. So all your depression and anger and attachment and neediness and grasping and anxiety and all your worries and making up stories and grudges and bitternesses, all this kind of nonsense that we go on with our mind all day long, instantly dispelled as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dudu Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dudu Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dudu Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dudu Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dudu Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. They're gone, they're finished. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. And if you wish, you can recite a couple of mantras each for the visualizations of the body and the speech and the mind that we have just done. Or you can just imagine light and nectar just pouring in, filling you completely and eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mibawa sutokaya mibawa supokaya mibawa anarakta mibawa sawasidi mipiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mibawa sutokaya mibawa supokaya mibawa Anarakta mibawa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru ha ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mibawa sutokaya mibawa supakaya mibawa Anarakta mibawa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mibawa sutokaya mibawa supokaya mibawa Anarakta mibawa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mibawa sutokaya mibawa supokaya mibawa Anarakta mibawa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mibawa sutokaya mibawa supokaya mibawa Anarakta mibawa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mibawa sutokaya mibawa supokaya mibawa Anarakta mibawa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Now feel completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So the next is the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. But before we do that, just again, I remind everybody to just rejoice, first of all, in your efforts turning up here. Maybe you've done another class before here. Maybe you've got things at home. Maybe you've just come back from work. Maybe you're not feeling very well, but yet you still managed to turn up. So that's just fantastic and very, very inspiring for me and everybody else. So that, pat yourself on the back to start with. And then rejoice in the efforts that you've been making to try and get on top of some of the habits. We all have them because we're human. And we have stuff that we just have sometimes brought into this life from another life, so we just have a habit to do it. And we keep falling over ourselves and repeating the same thing over and over again, but what we're doing now is we make an aspiration, we make a decision. I'm going to try and stop doing this thing. But it takes time. So we give ourselves a reasonable timeline to start with. 3 seconds if that's all you can manage. 10 minutes, an hour, a day, overnight while you're sleeping. So just something that we can work on, whether it's with your speech, whether you eat too much or too much sugar or something, or too much tea or coffee or whatever it is. Excuse me. Just think I'll refrain from that. And this aspiration, this decision gives us the strength and the courage to change. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And Lama Yeshe used to call this union oneness. Now Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for just a little while. And we think of all phenomena as being empty, not existing from their own side. And you can also think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So we just want to try and cut into this concrete view we have of the world. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created by doing this purification to all living beings, thinking, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honouring the three jewels, savour of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursil, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Cherub, beloved teacher leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. Gosh, this week is going so fast yet again. Before we know what, our life will be gone like a dream. Okay. I just hope our lives don't go as fast as this week has been going. Okay. Lots of love, everybody. Good night. Please sleep well, and I'll see some of you tomorrow morning maybe, and otherwise some of you tomorrow night. Okay. Take care.